everybody.
Nice to have you along with us. I'm Jack. This is Karen.
Hey.
Got a nice show for you today, but first of all, before we go any further, Karen, we want to thank you very much for joining us for today's show and to let you know that you matter to us. I don't care who you are, you matter to us here in our great area. And if we can ever do anything for you, just let us know.
Absolutely.
Hey, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs
Yeah,
last Sunday.
that was quite a game, wasn't it?
It was a great game. The Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl 38-35 over the Philadelphia Eagles, and it came down to that almost the last play of the game.
8 seconds of the game, I think.
Yeah, and then they had 3 seconds to burn off. So.
Yeah. Well, we had a fun time.
It was a good time. Yeah, we got surprised.
We did get surprised. Our friends texted us and said, "What are you doing for Super Bowl Sunday?" And I said, "Well, really nothing. We were just going to stay home." And all of a sudden they said, "Well, be ready by," well, first they said 3:30, and then they came back and said, "We'll pick you up between 2:30 and 3.
And 3, yeah.
And so they drove up, and we walked outside, and I said, "Well, how do you dress? How should we dress? Like going to a Cowboys game?" And they said, "Yeah, like go." So we had our Cowboy jerseys on and all that good stuff. Anyway, we walked outside, and there was a white stretch limo sitting there with a truckload of our friends, and we were so surprised. And it was funny because we have a set of friends, and they were sworn to secrecy. And we didn't know whether to say something or not say something, so we just kind of avoided that day altogether. It was pretty hilarious. But anyway,
it was a good
we had a large time.
We surely did. One of the big things that people are talking about this week is the Chinese spy balloon that was shot down off the coast of Carolina last Sunday. And Karen, there's been 3 more that's been shot down since this past week.
Well, that's right. Well, actually, and then they had a 5th one that was a blip, that was a false alarm type thing.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, and all these train wrecks going on.
Mm-hmm.
My
And we heard
goodness.
today that a jet fighter from the U.S. Air Force intercepted 2 Russian planes that were dangerously close to Alaska.
Yep, we heard that.
And turned them back. So,
and also there was a black helicopter that crashed today.
a Black Hawk helicopter.
2 of our military guys.
Did.
God bless them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, just, be watching the skies, folks. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, because we would have never known if a person about the balloon unless somebody on the ground that was a citizen spotted it and reported it.
Took a photograph of it.
Nobody was ever going to tell us.
No.
From what we got out of it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that just ain't right. I'm just saying.
I'm sure
there's
you
more
guys
people in this world in this nation besides Washington.
That's true. That's true.
We pay their bills.
You guys have been talking about it too all week too.
Yeah.
But something else that happened here in our area over in Saginaw, an accident happened involving a motorcycle
Off of Bailey Boswell.
Yeah, that resulted in a fatality. God bless him or her.
We don't know who it was, and I haven't heard.
No, we have not.
We have lots of friends that ride motorcycles, so it always concerns me when we hear there's been a motorcycle accident. So people out there, man, be careful. And watch out for cyclists.
Absolutely.
Whether it be bicycle or motorcycles.
That's exactly correct. Yeah, just be very, very mindful of people on 2-wheelers, be it motorcycles.
I mean, Jack and I used to ride, and we had extra lights on our motorcycle.
Yes, we did.
Of course, that was like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Saying.
Feels like 100 years ago.
Well, true.
Some good things coming up this weekend. We're going to have more on that coming up at the end of the program. Our all-around town segment today features some logical explanations and simple things you can do to make sure your furnace and your air conditioning unit is working up to par. And I'm not an expert. She's not an
definitely
expert.
not.
So we decided to find an expert. So we found Mr. Doug Caldwell of Caldwell Heating and Air. And that's this week's edition of All Around Town. Let's watch. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of All Around Town. And we've got a special guest with us today. We're at the beautiful home of Doug and Melinda Caldwell. And we have asked Doug to join us because Doug has Caldwell Heating and Air. And Doug, we're not through with the winter yet.
No, we're not. It's we've still got a lot of it. They said this week it's going to get even worse.
Yeah, I heard that too. Now, let's talk about that. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there that may not really know how to keep their heating units really up to date and running smoothly. Any tips from you?
Well, Jack, the main thing to any service or to keeping your air conditioner, heater going, first of all, filter changes, right? So I know that we see a lot of filters in the business that they say, oh, it's good for 3 months, and it's a $30 filter. It's not always the best. So with an air filter, you're looking at two things. So the MERV value is on there. So the higher the MERV value, the tighter the filter is, which also lowers efficiency, right? So I would tell anybody changing your filters at least every 60 days is a must. The tighter the filter, the more often you'll have to change it. Yeah. So there's several kinds of heaters. You got what we call just straight resistance heat, or some people refer to as electric heat. We have heat pumps, and we have gas heating. So I'll start with gas heating first because it's the most worrisome for you. I always recommend anybody that has gas heat, you definitely need to have a carbon monoxide detector in your house. It's just a must, right? So what a carbon monoxide detector is, detects if the heat exchanger is cracked. You should have a yearly service. You should have a licensed professional come over, and they should run a heating test on it. They should clean out your burner compartment with a shop vac and make sure that all the safeties are working. But most people think gas and their fear is fire. It's really the least of your problems because, the units have flame sensors, they have rollout switches, they have all kinds of safety features to prevent the fire. It's really it's not impossible, but it's not the common thing. What is the most common thing is after a unit gets a little bit of age on it, generally you really need to start being careful around 15 years as you'll get a crack in the heat exchanger. That's from the metal in the firebox contracting and expanding and contracting, right? After a while, it'll break a weld. That's where you get the carbon monoxide. So you definitely want to have that checked every year. The second type of heating system is very common is a heat pump, and that's where you're using the outside condenser to reject the cool in your house, right? And so just like running in the air conditioning mode, the primary thing that you want on that is to make sure that the outside unit is clean. I recommend people cleaning them. You could take your water hose. You don't want to use a pressure washer on it, but take your water hose and just rinse it, every 2 to 3 months, depending on your area that you're in. Especially if it's got a lot of cottonwood, if there's a lot of landscaping dirt around, stuff like that.
That's very true because I do mine at your, when you told me about mine, I was really surprised at the dirt that came out of there. It really amazed me. So I do that regularly now.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so when we're servicing a heat pump, one of the things is we go up, we check the blower system. So it also has backup resistance heat. We make sure all of that works. But the main thing on that is to have somebody that's knowledgeable in how to set the subcooling on your unit, which is the refrigerant charge, right? And there's no more of the days we used to call it beer can cold and stuff like that when you were charging a unit. These units are very a lot more technical now, and so the charges are more critical. So it takes a person that's got the gauges and the right thermometers to be able to check the refrigerant. Right. And then the third kind of heating is just straight resistance heat. So that's basically just a heating element, much like what's in a toaster, just a little bit larger. And depending on the size of your house, you may have 2, 3, or even 4. So it just takes a guy to come over, do the general cleaning on the unit and then checking to make sure that they're pulling the correct amount of amps.
Those are some terrific ideas and things for people to check. But this is Texas, Doug. And it may be 30 degrees today and 85 degrees tomorrow. So what if, is it ever too early to start checking out an AC unit for the Texas heat?
No, not at all. So generally, before we start doing actual cooling service calls is generally, anytime it's consistently above 70 degrees outside, right? For the charging purposes, I really prefer it to be above 80, right? Of course, if during the time, if you're having a problem, don't hesitate to call. But if you're going to go ahead and get the service where we come out and clean the condenser, check your air handler and all that, generally May, April, late April, early May is the best time for that. When the weather is consistently warmer, so that the pressures will look right.
And it's also important to keep the air filters clean too during the summer.
Summer and winter. So that is something that you have to keep clean year round. Right. The air filters need to be changed minimum of every 60 days. And depending on your lifestyle, if you have a lot of dogs and stuff or pets in general, you're probably going to be more around 30 days.
Right.
So
that's what we do. At your suggestion, we do every 30 days at our household. And if you have a question about heating and air and stuff like that, and you'd really want to maybe get a service checkup, they can call you, right?
Absolutely. So you can find us, we're on the internet, but also 817-822-8576. That's our phone number. You can call anytime and be glad to help you in any way I can. There's a lot of changes coming in the industry. You're going to start hearing about SEER 2, huge price increases. It's just the economy, but the price of air conditioning has literally doubled in the last 3 years. There's going to be a lot more leasing and financing just because of the cost of air conditioning has gone up exponentially.
Well, I'll tell you what, after our interview is completed, we're going to be flashing up a sign for you so that you'll know where to get in touch with Caldwell Heating and Air if you would like them to come out and do a service call on you. And let's talk about the Shriners. Doug is also a big Shriner, and I appreciate that very fact. We were in the Junior Chamber of Commerce for years and years, so the Shriners are very active in this area, aren't they?
And they are. So I'm a part of the Mazla Shriners. I'm a patrolman. So what our main philanthropy is.
No tickets, please.
is the Shriners Children's Hospital, and ours is the one in Galveston, and it's a great organization. We send nobody a bill, and do that. We have lots of fundraisers, and we're always looking for people that want to help. We've got a golf tournament coming up that we're looking for sponsors for. We have a clay shoot that that is a really fun time that we need for both the golf tournament and the clay shoot. We not only do we want sponsors, but we want participants. So come out, get you a team together, right? There are 4-man teams in both of them, and man, it's really for a good cause, and it helps us. It helps us take care of these kids. The Shrine Circus is huge for us, right? And the hospital. So obviously, we want as much participation in that. Bring your kids out. It's a great family event.
Yeah. Well, anytime I will tell you that the Shriners has anything going on public-wise, just give us the dates, and we'll be sure to advertise it right here on All Around Town and our weekend events. Doug, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day. I know how busy you are for being with us.
Oh, hey, man. So the pleasure is mine. If people want to know about the actual dates, there is a calendar on Mazla.com. I believe it may be Mazla.org. I don't actually, it's one of them two. It's very easy to find on Google. But there's a calendar of events on there because we host car shows, chili cook-offs. We have Easter programs for kids, for Easter egg hunts. Right. So pretty much every holiday we have something that and it's extremely family-oriented.
That's terrific. Doug, thanks again for your time, and we'll have another guest coming up next week on All Around Town, but we want to thank Doug and Melinda Caldwell for allowing us to come out to their beautiful home to do the interview. And again, stay with us because right after this, we're going to flash up information on where you can get a hold of Doug and Caldwell Air Conditioning and Heating. If you have any questions or if you'd like to perhaps set up a service schedule. Anyway, that's it for right now. We'll be back with you in just 1 minute.
Great guy.
He is a great guy.
He is a great guy.
And I'm telling you, I've learned more about our furnace and our air conditioning unit just by talking to him on this interview.
Yep.
I picked up so many things, and I hope you did too, because I tell you what, when it gets cold here, it gets cold.
It does, and it just swoops in.
All of a sudden.
71 day and 28 minutes.
A furnace and AC unit is just like a car. You're going to have to keep it serviced to keep it going in top-notch condition
Yep.
at all times. So give Doug a call. Even if you just have a question, you can give him a call, and he said they'd be happy to answer it. Or if you'd like to schedule a service appointment, the number we gave you, you can call and get that all
Right.
set up. You know, there's going to be some fun things going on this
Well,
weekend.
we have a couple of things.
Yeah.
We have in celebration of Black History Month, which
Yeah,
is this
all of
month.
our
All this
African
month.
American friends celebrating this month.
They're having a Black History Month celebration and book fair.
All right,
And
cool.
it's at the Dock Bookshop on Meadowbrook Drive, and it runs from 1 to 4, and it's Saturday from 1 to 4. So if you're out and about and you want to visit them, feel free. Also, we got to remember Fat Tuesday's coming up on the 21st.
Yeah, people in New Orleans are getting ready.
The cops will be out that night, won't they?
Yes, they will.
And also, Ash Wednesday is the 22nd. For those of you I know at our Lighthouse Fellowship Church, their service for Ash Wednesday is on the 22nd at 7 o'clock. So
Yeah, if you have
want to go to
nothing,
church.
nothing to do that night, join us.
Also coming this weekend is a Fort Worth Home and Garden Show.
Oh, that's always a fun.
And that's fun. And it starts Friday.
You get so many great ideas on what you
Yeah, I
can
wonder
do.
if we should check to see if they have the grass that we would do. Anyway, it's from the 17th to the 19th, and it's Friday 2 to 6, Saturday 10 to 7, and Sunday 11 to 5. And the ticket prices are pretty fair. I would like to
reasonable.
go myself. Adults are $8.
Yeah.
And seniors are 7, which would be us. What can I say?
Well, anyway, it should be a lot of fun. And if you like to make your yards and your gardens look their best, that's a place to be.
And also, active duty military is free. Retired military is 7, and public education employees are free.
All right. Absolutely.
And first responders are free.
Fantastic.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll be some fun things for you to do this weekend. We want to welcome in our new members who have joined our Facebook group page here in the last week or so. We appreciate that very much, and we invite you to invite your friends to join us here on our Facebook group page. It's very simple if you want to keep up with all of our programs that we do here once a week. Very simple. Just go to Facebook, go to search, hit Facebook, or not Facebook, hit Powered Up and Plugged In, and that'll bring you right up to our Facebook group page. And you can see everything we're doing, the questions we ask.
Watch all the shows.
Yeah,
They're
watch
all there.
all the shows. And there's also another way
Yeah,
they can
they
get
can
in touch
also
with us.
email us. So if you would like Doug's information, you can email us and say, can I have Doug's information if you didn't get it off the show at pluggedin2024 at gmail.com. And pluggedin 2024 is all one word.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before we leave you, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, now's the time to do it before May the 1st because changes are going
coming.
into effect as far as scoring and what you're going to be paying in interest rates. So right now is a great time to buy or sell your home, and we would be happy and honored
We would be honored.
to work with you and help you either sell your home or find a home for you to live in. It's very simple. Just right under my body right here down below, you will find our phone number, 972-523-4613, and I'll be happy to help you in any form or fashion.
And that would be both of us would be
Both
happy.
of us. Karen's my boss.
We're a team.
Karen's my boss, so I got to be
Yeah,
there.
that's right. I can fire you.
It's been a lot
So-
of fun today, folks. We really do care about you and care what happens to you because you do matter to Karen and I. And we want to see you here again next week for another edition of Powered Up and Plugged In. Until we see you next time, take care of one another. It don't cost nothing to be nice.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Have
I
a
don't
great
know what the
weekend.
weather's supposed to be like. I think it's supposed to rain or something tomorrow. You never know.
You never know here in Texas.
But have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
And a great next week also.
Till we see you again. God bless you. God bless our great country, United States of America. Until we see you next week. So long, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.